What's up, hockey fans? Welcome back to the HSN Podcast, presented to you by the Hockey Sense Network. My name's Adam, and with me always is Johnny's Antenna and Michael Fontana. What's going on, boys? First week of NHL in the bank.
Was nice to watch.
Yeah, it was fun to finally have some entertainment other than the NBA and the NFL. We're all more hockey fans than we are anything else. Michael, buddy, how's it going?
One of the first times ever I've basically watched other teams in Toronto.
Yeah, Michael doesn't really watch a lot of hockey.
I do come playoff time, but during the season, I don't know. I've never really had those channels. They just appeared on TV. I was like to my dad, when did we buy these? He's like,
your dad updated the
just got like I was getting all the American games. I was watching all those. Pretty good week to have hockey.
Yeah, it was definitely a fun week of hockey and a fun week for all of our teams. Sitting 1, 2, 3 in the North Division.
Pretty much in the playoffs already.
It's 3 games into the season, but stop the count, Donald Trump.
Stop the count. Who's fourth right now? Ottawa or Winnipeg?
Winnipeg. They're 1-0-0.
Yeah,
they beat my Flames in overtime. That was tough.
Okay.
I thought we outplayed them one period, but the other 2 periods we were.
Yeah,
just
me and you were texting
garbage.
after the first. We're like, oh, Calgary looks the best team in the division. Then they laid an egg.
Looking good. So we're just gonna go straight into what we thought about our teams in the first week, first impressions and stuff, and we're gonna start off with Michael. So Michael, buddy, the Toronto Maple Leafs, how did they look
Up
after
and down
the first
week.
week of
Up and
play?
down week, I'd say, Michael.
I don't want to read too much into the first week, like many Leaf fans are right now.
At least
it's
you're
already
sensible.
It's already peak controversy over so many different things. But I thought we already had an up and down week. Coming into the season, the Leafs really emphasized they want to work harder. They want to play more physical. They want to play hard. They want to be harder to play against.
Don't need them any of those 3 things.
I was not happy because I just saw the same stuff that I saw in the Columbus series, and I think it's going to take a while to get into what they want to be like. So I don't think I should have expected it to happen right away. I just wanted to see a better effort. So I'll start from against Montreal. Just quickly break down each games, and then we could just talk about what you guys think too. Yeah. So against Montreal, the first period I really liked how our defense was playing. I thought, why are you looking at me like that?
We were all over you the first period. Your defense was terrible.
Yeah, no, it wasn't.
It wasn't great.
Anderson drove to the net twice. Had 2 clear-cut chances.
And who was that on?
Yeah, but I
like
one of them was on TJ.
Okay,
Bogosian took 2 penalties.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Bogosian's penalty. Okay, but in terms of our transitions out the zone, I didn't think that we were that bad the first period. And then it just started. I don't know. It just started going downhill from there. We were down 3-1. I thought Anderson
blowing 3-1 leads.
See, I thought Anderson should have had a couple of those goals, but at the same time, you can't blame him.
Oh yeah, what was his expected goals for the game?
Montreal,
it was pretty high.
Chances.
Yeah, Anderson was really good that game.
So was Josh.
Not
Anderson.
really cool. I wouldn't say really good. I think he should have had
Josh Anderson.
I'm talking about Frederick.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Josh Anderson.
No,
the
other.
See, that's confusing.
No.
That's already been confusing me.
Honestly, though, I don't think Freddie played that bad.
Freddie.
Freddie, the only goal I think that he should have had was the 4th Anderson one.
The 4th Anderson one?
Yeah, that was the only one I think he should have had.
Yeah, when he crashed the net, you can't really blame Tavares on that one because
no,
he's obviously going to get bodied out by Josh Anderson.
Yeah, what a tank.
But
we won the trade.
Okay, too close to call, but the Domi situation with Torts, we're going to get into later on. But yeah.
Okay, I think that the Wayne Simmons fight, people might be reading into it too much, but I think it definitely gave them some...
it's definitely... it's fights always
it's
add a little bit of a boost.
Definitely flip the script a bit. So.
You know what? When I watch the Calgary Flames, and we've been notorious for late third period comebacks being sparked by a big hit from Sam Bennett or something. It actually makes a difference.
It does make a difference, but I think not in this example because there was no immediate response after the fight. They looked good for the 2-minute power play, but they didn't score. Then after that, if you watched, the fight was at the 9-minute mark. Up until the Suzuki penalty with 2 minutes left, Montreal was still controlling the play. The Leafs didn't look different at all. It was when the Suzuki power play, Nylander scored when Edmondson had the broken stick, and
Nylander was a beast. The
5-on-3 goal. That's when the game kind of turned, and the third period was pretty even.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of 5-on-3 penalties or power plays.
There's been a lot of penalties in general.
Yeah.
Refs are really.
I don't know the officiating.
They took a break. They took a break in the playoffs. Nothing was getting called, and now they're just unloading everything. Continue with Toronto and their week.
Yeah, and then after we tied it up, I thought the rest of the game was decent. Like Johnny, you said the 4th goal, Josh Anderson. I think Freddie should have had that one. And then we kept on the pressure trying to come back, and the ref bounced off the ref. I know you're not happy about that one, Johnny, but I think it was coming anyway. I said that game was going OT from the start, and OT was good as it should be in a Leafs Habs OT, back and forth. Freddie had a good save on was it Toffoli, Johnny?
Yeah, Toffoli on the cross crease, cross crease, but one timer.
Yeah, right. And then Tavares Riley came back. They put it in, and that's it. That's the game. I texted Johnny after.
We got a nice TikTok from that game too.
The one
I didn't
post that one.
Yeah.
I texted Johnny. Good game, Johnny. Don't worry. You guys actually played really fucking good. 9 more to go.
That's the first swear word.
It's the first swear word.
So we have to bring up a little segment / I don't know what you call it.
But we're gonna have a jar, and every time someone drops an F-bomb, they're gonna put $1 in the jar, and then we're gonna donate that jar somewhere.
We don't know where.
Hockey related. We're gonna look into something.
Maybe I was thinking maybe to ALS and Chris Snow.
Yeah,
since it's one of our teams. And
so Michael donated the first $1.
Yeah, so congrats to Michael.
So Johnny goes with the saltiest text message back I've ever seen. I was trying to be nice. I appreciated the way Montreal played. I thought they were really good.
They looked like a great team.
And he goes, I'm not worried. Don't worry. Everything had to go your way for a dub. See you next game.
I actually said for an OT dub.
What's the difference?
Like, everything when you're away, you can only beat us in overtime. You couldn't even take the full 2 points. You have to give us one still.
Well, don't blow the lead, Johnny. I'm not tell you.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, let's not talk about blowing leads yet.
Next game against Ottawa was the worst thing I've ever seen.
Oh, that was so bad.
The first period was amazing hockey for the Leafs. So we were in their zone, hammering them, shift after shift, consistent hockey.
You guys outshot them too, like
for the first
half of the game.
For the first 15 minutes, hemmed in their zone.
Also, Ottawa's first game since March.
That is true.
I expected Ottawa if they were going to win a game. Slow. I thought Ottawa would win the Saturday game. I thought the Leafs would dominate the Friday game, but then again, it's the Leafs. So then can't expect too much.
And then that Riley Brody pairing, I don't know, Adam, you were.
I was saying I think it's just better to split it up, because terrible. I mean it's not. It can be good. Brody played his entire career with Mark Giordano. Arguably, I would say top 5 defenseman in the last decade. I don't know if anybody disagrees with me, or I might just. There's a little bit of bias, but definitely top 10.
I don't know.
Top 10 for sure. Top 5. Top 5.
But when you play like with a guy like Mark Giordano who can literally do it all. It's hard to go to a Riley type player. He is good. He is decent defensively, but he's more of an offensive defenseman, and so is Brody. I would lean him towards a more offensive defenseman as well. So putting him maybe with Muzzin, I think a first pairing of Muzzin Brody or Muzzin, because Brody can play both sides. Don't forget. Or maybe a second line like that, and then who would you move up to the first line?
See, I love the Muzzin Hall pairing. I think
it's good too, but if this line does continue to struggle, the Riley Brody one, then I would consider moving it. But I think Brody still had some good looks, especially that bank pass to Marner that set up the Thornton goal. That just made me want to cry a little bit because because I'm gonna miss that. Like Chris Tanev isn't gonna give the Calgary Flames what Brody gave us.
Tanev's look good.
Tanev has looked good, but we'll get into that a little bit after. But Michael, buddy, got to speed it up with the Leafs talk. I know.
No, but it's not even like he was so offensive, Brody. He's just like he's just like you got to be better. Like he's not tying guys up in front of the net.
He never did in his whole career, really.
But you got to do that.
He wasn't great at doing that. He gets thrown around a little bit. Like he's a smaller defenseman.
Like he didn't fit needs that you guys had really. He's just another kind of defenseman that
Tanev would have fit better.
Yeah, Tanev would have been a good fit.
Tanev would have been a great fit. You know why too? Because he's a warrior, like a playoff, like a guy you won in the playoffs.
I've always wanted Tanev.
I like him. Like we'll get into it more, but like the contract, that's what threw me off. Like prior to the season, that's why I had a preconceived notion on how his contract was going to end up with the Flames. But yeah.
What is it? 4x4?
Yeah, 4x4.5, I think.
It's not too bad.
It's not that long. That's
easily movable. It's not that
bad. I don't know about movable. Maybe after this year,
some teams will take.
If we absolutely tank, then we can move them. But
anyway, yeah, we know what happened the rest of that game. Yeah, I don't have to get too much into it. They know they have to be better, and it showed last night. I think we came out pretty strong. Like the first game, we were kind of hemming them in their zone, and it kind of kept going throughout the whole game because I think they only had 15 or 18 shots by the end of the game. Yeah. So that's like what we like to see, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think you guys played a more complete game last night, Saturday. we're watching the football game right now, and
And Jameis Winston just threw a touchdown, which is
that's
pretty
crazy.
interesting.
Why was he that wide open? Anyways, back to hockey. Where are we going next? Montreal.
We're
or
gonna move
Calgary?
on to Calgary, but I just want to touch one thing on the Leafs quick that I found really interesting about the game last night because I was watching it when the Montreal one ended earlier. I found it very interesting that when you guys were up 3-1 and then Stutzle, however you pronounce his name, scored the goal. I found it very interesting that Keefe used the timeout. Like, that's how fragile he views the team, that they have a 3-1 lead, they concede a goal, and he uses the timeout.
I don't think it's fragile. I think he's still a new coach. He's still new with this group. You have to use these early moments in the season as you know, you got to take every chance you get to teach them. He probably said some good stuff when he took that time out.
I mean,
let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Yeah.
This is how we always blow leads by doing this late in the game. Let's just settle down. Let's keep playing the game we were playing. The one goal doesn't change anything. We're playing a good game.
See, I'd understand if it was like Ottawa was dominating the play at the end, but still, the run of play was with Toronto, so that's why I just found it very interesting, especially with how valuable timeouts are with challenges and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Found it interesting that he would use his timeout. Like, that's how.
Yeah, I didn't even notice that, to be honest.
That was the one thing I noticed from the game because that's all I really got to see.
Yeah, right.
So move on to Calgary.
Okay, yeah. I liked our play. Honestly, we got 3 out of 4 possible points. I think we lost that game against Winnipeg more than Winnipeg won it.
Same with Montreal.
Yeah, they did play a good game, second and third period, but the first period I was like so convinced that we had an actual good system in place, and I really I had high expectations going into the thing, but then when that's the first thing you see, you get so hyped. So I was excited to see how good we played in the first period of that Winnipeg game. I thought our power play looked lethal in that game, and same with the Vancouver game. That was just all about special teams killing the 5-on-3, as well as winning it with 3 power play goals, going 3 for 5. But yeah, that Winnipeg game.
Laine played a great game.
Laine was insane. Yeah, he definitely carried the team a little bit there, and I also thought Hellebuck was a little shaky. Probably just because coming back, starting the season after not playing for very long. But yeah, I was happy with our first period in the game, and then we kind of just played Calgary Flames hockey again, trying to sit back on a lead and not really press offensively, which is just disgusting. And they were talking on Hockey Night in Canada on Saturday, or not Hockey Night in Canada. Is it Hockey Night in Canada? Yeah, whatever. For the Flames game, Friedman brought up not giving Goudreau Monahan enough offensive zone starts. They played in their own end way too much against Winnipeg. That's also because Monahan's also terrible at in his defensive end, but I thought the switch that Jeff Ward made to give them more offensive starts, they were a lot more dangerous against Vancouver, and I thought we played a really good complete game against Vancouver. We did sit back on our lead again, which I didn't like, and there was really nothing much happening 5-on-5, but overall, I think the Vancouver game was, if we see that consistently over the course of the year, I don't see a way we don't finish first or second in a division, especially if Markstrom wants to stand on his head like that.
Yeah, Markstrom played really good.
I felt so secure for the first time in maybe 6 years with a goalie in net.
Since Mika.
Yeah, it felt so good to have somebody you trust. Already 2 games in, he has my trust. But I did get some Mike Smith vibes from him
when he
on
was
the
playing
first,
the puck against Winnipeg.
In the first game, I was like, holy shit.
That was the first thing I thought of.
Is this Markstrom or is this Mike Smith?
Well, Mike Smith's a beast at playing the puck.
He is.
No,
Markstrom.
He turns it over a lot too.
He does.
When you're going out that much to get it, you're going to turn it over.
Yeah, there's a lot of pluses and minuses with that. Yeah. You can start a breakout. You can rely on him to pass it back if you're on a power play and you get stuck like Goudreau did a couple times.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was making me nervous as hell. And that great save he made was all his fault.
When he
turned it over, then it came in the front of the net and he made that save, which was unreal. Kept us in that game. He saved us a point.
He's got to get comfortable with the defense too, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure. But he knows Tanev. He knows Levo.
They highlighted it in the broadcast. I don't remember which game it was, but one breakout that was really smooth was Markstrom to Tanev, which makes sense because of the
chemistry they had. Another thing on Tanev, I really liked his game. Both games he played pretty good.
I did too. He was solid.
What was it, 8 block shots in the game against Vancouver? Just a penalty killing god. Yeah, he was unreal. Makes me rethink my previous comments before the season was I'm dreading this contract. I'm dreading seeing him play on our second pairing. But yeah, I liked him. I didn't have any bad things to really say. He did struggle getting the puck out of his own zone in the first game, but besides that, he was solid. I don't know. You guys, Johnny watched both the games, so he might have some stuff to add, but I don't know about Michael.
I watched the first game. I think, well, and a bit of the second, but it was definitely, you guys played better the second game.
Yeah,
no 5-on-5 goals the whole game.
Yeah, that was surprising. Vancouver's also missing JT Miller, so a lot of their offense comes from that line, and I think Pettersson's going to be happy when JT Miller comes back on tomorrow. Tomorrow's the next game.
Is he coming back tomorrow?
He is. I don't think it's confirmed, but I think he is.
I thought it was weeks. He was always at Ben.
No. That's because JT Miller's in COVID protocol. So, this episode is going to come out on the Tuesday, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, so the Monday night games.
So the Monday night games
have already been done.
Exactly.
Hopefully Montreal won. Toronto.
Yeah.
Hopefully Lennon played and he's not leaving the lineup.
Hopefully Spezza's still a Leaf by the time.
I'm sure he will.
Spezza will. Dell won't be. But we'll get into that later.
Yeah, but overall, really happy with the Flames, especially that second game. Let's move on to the
Montreal Canadiens.
Yeah, Canadiens.
So I really like Montreal's first week. I can't lie.
I know you did.
The game against Toronto, I can handle. Like if that loss was against anyone other than Toronto, I would have been perfectly fine because we played amazing. It was just one of those games puck didn't go your way. So 5-on-5, the game was all Montreal. But the problem is it's gonna be the same thing that's kind of happened in the past. But this year with Montreal's hopes, it'll be magnified a little more. Even though they'll probably dominate some games 5-on-5, sometimes they'll just get outskilled, which is kind of what happened against Toronto. The Big Four kind of was able to take over. Not even the Big Four, because Matthews didn't do too much, but the other three.
Marner didn't do too much either.
Marner had the really nice pass to Tavares, though.
Which
on
one?
The 5-on-3. Tavares' goal was all Marner.
I don't remember exactly. Tavares nipped it, no? Oh, no. His tip. His tip. Yeah, it was a nice pass, yeah.
So, but sometimes you're just going to get outskilled because Montreal's not built, skill-wise, really. They're more just a deep team that can run 4 lines. Anderson looked really good. If he plays half of that game, every game, fine by me. He had 37 kilometers an hour on the rush against Brody.
That's crazy. I didn't know he was that fast, honestly.
He was faster than I thought. He looked really good.
I heard in training camp that he was fast, but I thought that was just teammates saying oh, he's fast, blowing smoke kind of.
He's also a big body too.
That's why I didn't believe he was that fast.
Yeah.
The only thing so far about Montreal, the Saturday game they were really good as well. Obviously this time they got the dub, which was nice. The only thing about Montreal that kind of concerning, but only 2 games. Toffoli hasn't looked the greatest, especially.
Yeah, I'm kind of happy that Calgary didn't sign Toffoli.
Especially against Edmonton, he gave the puck away a couple times, fanned on a couple shots, but it's only 2 games, and he's also on the third line, so I don't think he's really being put in a position to succeed too much.
Who's he playing with?
Kotkaniemi and Armia. It's Armia that's slowing down the line.
I mean, I don't really I'm not a big fan of Kotkaniemi, anyways, but I think that who's your second line again? Who's the center?
They're listed as a second line, but I think they're the first line. Suzuki, Druin, and Anderson.
Right. Yeah, so there's no, because you guys have so much depth, there's no real room for Toffoli to have a big role.
I was thinking, maybe you separate that line, but then I realized it doesn't make sense to because the first line of Deneau, Tatar, Gallagher play unreal together. They've been together now 3 seasons, and the Suzuki line had some great chemistry, so I think that's just going to be. But Armia always does start slow. That's one thing I noticed since he came from Winnipeg. Last year he was on pace for over 20 goals. And even in the bubble, he looked good, but he always starts slow.
In the bubble, Armia was good. He had a couple goals, no?
Yeah, he had a couple goals.
Yeah.
Game 5 against Philly, he pretty much won us the game. He scored 2 goals.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
But who? He's with Toffoli and Kotkaniemi?
Yeah.
See, that's how many minutes are they getting? That's not that bad of a line.
Third line.
They're the third line, but all 3 lines play pretty evenly.
Yeah, exactly. But you're saying Toffoli's not in a position to succeed, but he's...
But I'm saying,
of who he's playing
he'd probably be succeeding more if he was on, with Druin or something. Plus, he's also playing on his off wing. First time in his career, he's playing left wing.
I like Kotkaniemi, though.
Toffoli.
Oh, he's playing left?
He's playing left wing for the first time in his career.
I didn't know that. That's why, because Calgary went after him as a right winger.
Yeah, see, that was the issue. We went after him as a right winger too, but then Gallagher and Anderson and then Armia can't play the left at all, and apparently Toffoli played left in junior, so they threw him on the left.
Right. So I don't think you should read too much into.
That's why I'm not too nervous. It's more. I think it'll be fine. It'll be fine. That's really all I got to say about Montreal. They 2 great games. They play Edmonton again tomorrow.
Suzuki. I thought he looked phenomenal.
Oh yeah, Suzuki was your best player.
He might hit a point a game. He might hit a point a game. If he plays
I can see
your bold prediction.
Right now, though.
Hey, Dylan Dubé's point per game too.
You know who leads Montreal in points right now? Jeffrey Petrie.
Really?
How many?
That guy is such a god. 4 points.
Yeah.
He's 4 points.
He scored 2 goals last night.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You see the goal? I don't know if you saw his first goal.
His goals.
He batted it to himself. He took a shot, then he hit it with his hand across the crease, behind Koskinen's back, skated around the net and tapped it in.
He's actually gross.
They reviewed it for a couple minutes because they thought it was a hand pass, but then they realized he hand passed it to himself.
Is he playing with Romanov?
No, he's with Edmondson, who has looked pretty good. A little shaky against the Leafs, but against Edmonton,
who's Weber with?
Really good. Sherrod, same line as last.
Oh yeah, sure.
They're just an absolute tank.
Did Romanov play good last
Romanov
night?
plays with Kulak. Yeah, Romanov. I think he might have had another point.
Kulak, I miss Kulak.
Oh, Kulak's so good. You guys gave us Kulak for Kirby
For
Reichel.
nothing, yeah,
Kirby
for nothing,
Reichel.
dude. Like, imagine if we had, if somehow, some way we could have kept, what's his name, Adam Fox and TJ Brody and Brett Kulak, an Adam Fox, Brett Kulak third pairing with
Kulak's
Brody,
so good.
Hannafin, Anderson,
Very
Giordano.
Very
That would
team
be
friendly deal too.
that would be the best defensive lineup in the NHL.
Yeah, he's very good.
We've had some good defensemen come out of Calgary and just give it to you here in New York. It wasn't really our choice, or to
Adam
Carolina.
Fox really wanted
He didn't want to play for Calgary. Yeah, which is sad, but
Last thing on Montreal, I just want to say, my boy Thomas Tatuna Tatar, 3 goals on 3 shots this year. What a legend!
damn. Yeah, I think it'll be sustainable for the entire
Yeah, I don't
season.
think he's gonna miss a shot all game.
No, I
I
don't
feel like
think so
now
either.
he's just like, I'm just not gonna shoot unless I know it's going in.
Maybe.
Just wants to
So
keep
he's
it.
gonna
to-
have
he wants to
56
stat pad,
a shot
eh?
a game, a goal a game.
Yeah,
Maybe.
he wants that high field goal percentage.
Also 2 breakaways though he scored, 5 full on both.
Hey, at least he can finish something that
So good.
Mitch Marner can't do
That Pacioretty trade. When I just think about it, I get happy. Like Pacioretty,
for Suzuki and thing.
all I was hearing is we're gonna get nothing back for him. We've held on to him for too long. His value's down after a 17.
You guys
goal
won
year.
that trade by
Then
a
we
mile.
trade Pacioretty for Nick Suzuki, which would have been a win, I think, by itself. A win for both teams.
Well, I don't think so because you didn't really expect him to be like this good.
No, I'm saying now, if you just had Suzuki, it would still be a win.
Yeah,
They throw in Tatar,
And he has an unreal year his first
who's
year.
had 2 unreal years and on pace for another great year. And we got a 2nd-round pick, which we drafted Matthias Norlander, who's playing in Sweden right now, and apparently looks unreal. And like some people are saying, in Sweden, like they're comparing him to Erik Karlsson. I'm not saying he's going to be that, but
Not my boy EK.
he looks really good from what I understand. He was supposed to play in the juniors, but he had COVID or something. He was injured or something.
Did he play in the World?
He was
You're
supposed
saying
to,
in the World
but he was
Juniors.
because
Right,
we know
right.
Sweden had a bunch of
Yeah.
COVID issues and stuff. He was supposed to be on the team.
And it might be a stretch, but I don't know. I'm like Tatar kind of makes up for Pacioretty alone because he's more
does.
he's
The
more of
first
an
year-
all-around player.
The first year, so what is that? 18-19. Tatar outscored Pacioretty. Last year, Pacioretty point-wise. Last year, Pacioretty outscored him. But you have to think it's Tatar and Suzuki, so
Right.
perfect.
So they win that by a mile.
But he's even on a shutdown line. Like he's in a shutdown
Yeah,
role
no,
too. Like Pacioretty was kind of like a power play specialist for you guys. I never really thought he was that great defensively compared to Tatar. Like
Pacioretty was liked him, but he was also just annoying. Like his last ever playoff run was the series against New York, and he didn't score a goal. Which
kind
was
of invisible.
annoying.
Like he's
Kind of
kind of a
annoying.
player that goes in and out. Like sometimes
Yeah,
you
he
don't
does.
notice him.
Michael always used to chirp him because said 10 of his goals a year were empty netters.
Yeah, but now Matthews pots in a bunch, not empty netters, but
Empty
I
netters.
said
is just a pass
Pacioretty used
stat.
to
It's
score
beautiful.
those garbage goals, but you gotta have the garbage goals
Yeah.
to
As
win,
a Gallagher.
to win games.
Gallagher scores 30 goals a
I
year.
mean, Matthew Tkachuk doesn't score pretty goals either.
Yeah.
Like,
Gallagher scored 30 goals the past 2 years, and I don't think one of them was a nice wrist shot.
all right, yeah, let's
Move on.
Yeah, let's move on here from our team breakdowns. Good week overall from all of us, I think.
Yeah.
Hopefully it stays the same next week too, but who knows?
So now we can move on to everyone's favorite topic: cross-checking in front of the net.
Oh,
This
I love
became quite the discussion this week after Weber and Sherratt gave Matthews the business in front of the net and threw a couple cross checks, and then Matthews was seen obviously in pain and there looks like the rib cage on the bench, and I believe it was McDavid's agent tweeted something out.
Yeah, I could read it if you want.
Yeah.
So Jeff Jackson, the agent of Connor McDavid, said, "Great to see NHL hockey back last night. Such amazing athletes and so much speed and skill in the game right now. But watching the abuse the star players take is hard to watch. Felt like the 80s with the cross checks in the back and the hacking and slashing. NFL protects their QBs. Why don't we?"
honestly, it's always been an issue, those star players getting absolutely abused. I just have this example because I watched Calgary and Johnny Gaudreau, they changed the slashing penalty because of Johnny Gaudreau. Because he would absolutely get abused. His wrists would probably be broken or bleeding after every game. Bruised or bleeding, not broken. But yeah, he took 9 or 12 slashes against Minnesota one game, I remember, in 18. And then the next year they change it. Anything on the wrist is thing. So I think this cross-checking bullshit has to stop too.
But it makes sense because if I cross-check you in the corner,
It's a
right,
penalty.
and it's a penalty,
yeah.
why does the in front of the net matter? I understand if you're pushing and shoving, but deliberately taking your stick and like a full out cross. Like Weber sent Matthews on the ground, and Matthews isn't a small guy.
No, he's a big dude.
I think the Sherratt one, they were kind of battling, it looked like. But
Yeah.
the Weber one was just Weber giving a nice little
Literally
two-handed.
sent him on the ground. Like you have to put some power in to send Matthews on the ice.
But
like
he
that.
was standing in front of the net, and I saw a tweet. Like, I don't agree with it, but I saw a tweet. Like, the argument was, oh, like, you got to protect the $10 million player. And then someone replied, like, oh, Weber's just protecting his $10 million goalie.
But what's Matthews going to do to Price
yeah.
with
Just,
his
like,
back
in
to
front of
him?
the net. I don't know.
Compared to Weber just absolutely abusing him in front of the net with, like, he can't do anything about it. He's focused on the puck. Weber's just cross-checking him in the back. Like, why should that be allowed? Like, Hannafin puts cross-check somebody into the boards, and with a cross-check, he gets a penalty right away, no questions asked.
Relating it to, like, the other sports about, like, how they protect the QBs, I got to say, like, because I watch, like, football a lot, that's kind of frustrating, especially, like, it gets criticized a lot, the roughing the passer calls in the NFL, especially because it's very inconsistent. So I think that came to the NHL, like,
Some of them are soft, though.
yeah, like, some are really soft. Like, if you sneeze on Aaron Rodgers, you're getting a penalty. If you blow on Tom Brady, you're getting a penalty. And then, like,
Lamar Jackson kind of gets abused.
yeah, Lamar Jackson get abused. It's like they pick, like, kind of favorites after a while. Like, even I noticed this year when Dak Prescott went down with the Cowboys, Dak Prescott would get a lot of calls. Then when Andy Dalton came in, our backup, so not a star player, he got no calls. Like, he would get abused. And then
How did they treat 43-year-old Tom Brady this year? I didn't watch a lot of Bucs games.
I think they treated him pretty well.
Yeah?
But, like, on the Matthews thing, as a half end, I've been watching Gallagher get abused for 8 years, and he doesn't complain. He just goes back to the bench.
I watch Kachuk
goes right
abuse
back in
players.
front of the net. Like,
I watch Kachuk abuse players.
if they're gonna call it, they gotta call it the same for everyone. It can't be like, oh, your name's Austin Matthews, you don't get touched in front of the net.
Mm-hmm.
If Matthews gets a penalty, if like Weber gets a penalty, then penalties should be handed out to anyone.
Yeah, I
It
think
shouldn't
it's got to
matter.
be consistent.
Like, I'm sure if TJ Brody cross-checked the goal we were talking about, why didn't Brody tie up to
Yeah,
Chuck?
but
If he cross-checked to Chuck there, it wouldn't have been called a penalty. It wouldn't have been a goal because Chuck wouldn't have been able to deflect it in. It's what you want your defenseman to do. The Montreal D this year is very physical. They don't, like, the first two games, they haven't allowed really anything. They've been very physical, and, like, I would love to see it as a team that's been getting pushed around for the past, like, 10 years, I'd say. Like, even Edmonton last night, I was telling Michael before the podcast when you were downstairs, Adam, he lined up Connor McDavid. McDavid was skating out of his zone. Edmonton came from across the ice pretty much, lined up McDavid.
can hit him.
Yeah, McDavid last second saw, pretty much left the puck to move out of the way. We took the puck down and scored. Which, I mean, I'm kind of happy Edmonton missed because if...
Did he still went to hit him, though, or did he,
No,
did he let
McDavid
up?
left the puck because Edmonton was about to hit him. Like, he just moved out of the way. So
Right.
Edmonton grazed him. And then we took the puck and scored, which is good because I think if Edmonton hit him, we wouldn't have had the chance to score because it would have been a line brawl
Right,
for
right.
lining up McDavid that bad. And McDavid probably would be out for quite some time because would have been quite the hit.
Yeah. Yeah, there was actually an incident, too. Like, Kachuk actually held up on a hit against Vancouver because he saw his boy
It was
Travis
Hamonic.
Hamonic,
I saw that.
and it could have actually been an interference call, so maybe that's why he let up. But I think he saw the back of his numbers and was like, Travis Hamonic, this guy's been through a lot. I'm not gonna just put him through the boards right now. But yeah, I think cross-checking overall in front of the net, that's been a problem. Just like slashing the last 2 years ago, before it would get called every time
The
you touch
NHL
somebody's
always
hands.
has a problem. It's goalie interference. It's cross-checking in front of the net. No one's ever fully happy with the NHL. And then when even like we complain that goalie interference is not called enough. Now it's too inconsistent.
Yeah.
Like, you don't know when it's going to be goalie interference or not.
Slashing is too much. Like it's
Slashing gets
every
called a
little thing
lot
gets
now. I saw
called
Tom
every-
I'm
Wilson.
telling you, bro. Johnny Gaudreau changed that rule. They saw him get abused. They didn't call shit, and now they're calling it.
But I think we all agree it should be called in front of the net. But if it gets called, it better be the same for everyone. Otherwise, then yet again, you're going to get more complaining.
Yeah, like I don't see Andrew Mangiapane picking up the same amount of penalties drawn as Austin Matthews in front of the net.
Also-
and that's just how it is with anything, really. You're protecting the star players in the league.
The
Every
Weber
league
one
does
was
it.
like, you don't see the Weber one too often. The Weber one was just two-handed, like, this guy's
yeah,
standing
like
in
I'm
front
fine
of
with
the net.
pushing and shoving, but
I'm
like,
gonna-
what if he got injured on that play? And it's like you took out our star player. It's money lost for the league. Like what Adam was saying. That's why
Yeah,
they protect the stars.
That's why they protect them.
From a business standpoint, it makes sense.
Can
All
move
right,
on, I think.
fair enough. I think, yeah.
So now we have two storylines from around the league that we'll touch on. The first one is, what is happening with the Edmonton Oilers and their goaltending situation here?
Honestly, Mike Smith shouldn't have been brought back, period. They should have went after somebody else.
They should have signed Holtby or Markstrom.
I know they were in on Markstrom.
Yeah, but he chose Calgary.
But he chose Calgary. I think he mostly because Lindholm. I don't think he has any other attachment to Calgary other than Lindholm. And then they brought in Nordstrom. He was like, "Happy birthday! Here are your two best friends on the team." But yeah, they wanted to go after him. I don't know why they didn't go after a guy like Jimmy Howard said no. So fair enough.
Jimmy Howard, Elliot Friedman said last night, they called him when Smith got injured, and he said, "Nah, I'm retiring."
I'm gone.
He didn't want to go to Edmonton.
Pulled the Rob Gronkowski.
He's like, "I'm out." Yeah,
there were so many goalie options. There were so many.
Yeah, that's why. Like, I don't understand.
This is the season of the goalie. Even like we didn't know about the hard thing at the time, like Lundqvist, Holtby, Crawford before he retired. Like there were so many options.
Leafs gave Aaron Dell a third line goalie spot.
Pretty much, yeah.
At why like
I like Louis Domingue as a
I'm sure he would rather have
took
took an Edmonton backup role than
even like trading for a guy like even if they traded for like since we're talking about our own teams like Charlie Lindgren's probably better than Mike Smith at this point.
I'm sure he is, but the thing is like Mikko Koskinen's not that great either.
No, Mikko,
like he's not his contract's
games.
Awful. Number one, he's getting paid what $1 million less than Markstrom.
He's like
the same term almost.
Yeah, it's brutal.
4.5.
It's in the fours.
It's like 7 years though.
No.
It's like it was five. There's 4 more years left.
Okay, but the thing I want to know, why did they even let Peter Chiarelli sign that contract a week before they fired him?
That makes no sense. It made no sense.
Why do you let him do that if you know he's right on the hot seat?
Maybe that's what put him over the edge. Who knows? But yeah, that situation's a disaster. If Mikko Koskinen continues to play like he's been playing, and they don't pick up Aaron Dell, what are their options?
Well,
what
right
are
now,
their 2 and 3 options?
I put down some notes on this point. Right now, their current backup, because you have to remember they also lost Forsberg.
Yeah.
Forsberg got claimed by Carolina when Smith was healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Then Carolina, for whatever reason, I don't remember I don't know what happened, but Carolina put him on waivers, and Edmonton went in for a claim, and Winnipeg claimed him. So Forsberg's going to Winnipeg now in the division. Some people think maybe Winnipeg did that just to
screw him over.
Yeah. That's why I think someone might claim Dell tomorrow too, just to like New Jersey might claim Dell. They got to watch out, and New Jersey on waivers would have like because it's based off of last season, so New Jersey has higher waiver priority than Edmonton.
Ah.
Because I don't know who New Jersey's backup is now that Crawford's out.
Dell's definitely getting claimed. 2 years ago he wasn't even that bad.
No,
yeah.
Dell's a solid backup.
Yeah, he's a solid backup.
Dell used to make like Calgary look like
they thought he was going to be the
team.
next like backup to starter,
and he's making $700K. Just claim him.
Yeah,
depth,
it makes no sense.
Even if he's another team's third, he's getting claimed.
This is current. No, but if you claim someone on waivers, they have to be on your active roster. You can't put them straight on taxi squad.
Very
so
true.
he's going to
you have to put him up on waivers again.
Yeah,
if
that's why
yeah.
People were surprised Juleson got claimed because he's on Florida's active roster.
Quickly before we move on to the next one, or are you going to keep going?
Yeah, I'm just going to say quickly. This is who they currently have now. Stuart Skinner is currently their backup, and I don't know if you guys know who he is.
He was drafted high though. No,
I don't know where he was drafted, but
didn't he play for Thing?
No, he's only been in Edmonton. I'm pretty sure. But
I think he played a game.
No, he's never played an actual game at HL.
Really?
But I did some research. He spent the last 2 years in the AHL and ECHL. In the AHL, he had an 896 save percentage over the last 2 years. And last year in the AHL, he got sent down to the ECHL.
Damn. Where
he had a 901 save percentage in the ECHL.
That's brutal.
Even if this guy plays a couple games, that's going to hurt Edmonton.
He was a highly touted prospect, though, going to the draft. I kind of remember that.
Skinner was?
Yeah, Stuart Skinner.
Maybe.
And then the guy they claimed on waivers, I don't know from who, but he's coming in from Switzerland now. Like he was just on someone's team stash. Troy Grosnick has played 2 NHL games, 31 years old. And the last time he played the NHL games, 2014-15.
Jesus.
So it is rough times in Edmonton. If they're smart, they claim Dell.
Yeah, I think they should. Quickly, though, since we're talking about like waiver wire and stuff and stuff like that, why did Calgary sign Brett Ritchie?
I don't know. Then you put him on waivers. No, he's on waivers now.
Yeah, we did. But why did we sign him and then put him on waivers? Like, what is his purpose on the taxi squad? What? You give Nordstrom one game and you're like, we're done with him. Like, where's the room there for that? Like, I don't really get it.
I think each team expects to get a couple COVID cases here and there. Right. So I think they're just trying to have as much depth as possible. Because taxi squad, like the Canadian teams for the most part are rich enough where they can afford to have like someone on their taxi
But they're also
squad.
at the least amount of risk. Like with COVID and stuff, like the Canadian division is not as at risk as any of the US divisions just because of how volatile
protocols are.
Yeah, exactly. And how volatile it's been for like the Stars getting COVID and stuff. Like there's going to be incidents like that. Just like the NBA. They like the Raptors they moved from Canada to the US, obviously playing out of Tampa, and it's just been a mess in the NBA. There's been like Like a total of what,
a
40
lot.
players get
Games
COVID?
Games have been postponed.
So many games have been postponed. It's crazy. So
Johnny, what about the Florida Panthers? How many fans did you say they had?
They had 2,000 fans or something like that today.
Yeah,
so
they couldn't
pretty
even
much
sell
no
out.
difference than the regular season games. I saw a photo on Twitter, and like if you go on Twitter and look at the photo, I think you could put them side by side, and it would be hard to tell which one's which. If you don't notice the masks, which also like not that many people are wearing.
it's America, baby.
Like it's interesting. So should we move on to the second storyline?
Yeah,
now?
let's go.
Dubois, like
Right.
it's not looking good for him in Columbus right now.
Nope.
2 games, hasn't
-2,
done much.
no points.
Still leading the team in
looks
ice time, though,
unmotivated,
forwards.
according
he?
to Brian Burke.
Yeah,
So wow, so Tortsy doesn't value Max Domi at all then, eh? Giving Dubois, who wants out, more ice time.
I don't know. I think it's hard to trade him during season because like you won't get the greatest return, and you're trying to like Columbus are trying to compete, but
Right.
also he's just gonna lose value every day. Like it's the opposite. Like we said, Line gained value. Like Dubois probably lost.
I'm surprised Line is not putting his head down and just like being a little baby, because he's kind of known for being like a little bit of a suck.
Yeah.
I think. I'm surprised that Line came out of the gates fucking.
Ready
Shit.
to go. That's
There
$2.
there goes another dollar.
It's only $1 each time. We're not doing anything.
Yeah, I know. We're not going to be giving much. Maybe we'll up the price after.
Yeah.
But that was a
after
really
couple
good game
episodes.
from Line. He looks motivated.
Yeah, he
unlike
does.
Unlike Dubois. Dubois does not.
After
look
all that
engaged.
media attention, and he's on the media. Trust me, he's on social media. Patrick Line. He
Probably
sees all
on
the
the
shit.
Fortnite server what he's
Yeah.
what
Some
Twitter's saying.
12-year-olds giving him an update on the trade. What's it called? The trade rumors and stuff. But yeah, I'm a little surprised by how both sides are handling it. Really, like
The
I
Tortorella quote
would
was
think you move him before the
unbelievable.
season. I think they've missed their chance to move him to get what he's worth, and that contract is beautiful for any team. And you're not going to get what you were to get before the season. Before, like, they should have done a sign and trade or something.
That's why I think, honestly, right now, one of the most valuable things about trading for Dubois is that contract. And if
It's $5 million for 2 years.
If you run to the offseason, 5 year, $5 million over 1 year isn't doesn't look as nice as the 2 years.
Right.
So I think
And he's an RFA at the end of it.
he's an RFA. Yeah.
But Johnny, like we were saying before, Brian Burke made a really good point last night. Like you're not
Brian
winning.
Burke
You're
makes a lot
not
of
winning
good points. I like Brian Burke.
Yeah, I like him too.
I don't like him as a GM. I like him just
Yeah.
talking shit on Hockey Night in Canada.
But he made a good point because he said you're not winning that trade. Like he went through it with Pavel Bure. When you're trying to trade an unmotivated player like Dubois, who the whole league, every GM knows that he wants out, they're gonna try and undermine. They're gonna try and undervalue him. And if you're forced to make the trade, which you pretty much are, you either let him keep playing, and that affects your chances of making the playoffs. They're in a hard division, Columbus, and if their star player is not playing at his best and what he's capable of at the level of playing at, you're not going to win games. So it's either you trade him now and you take all you can get, is what Brian Burke said,
Right.
or you keep playing him and your team suffers.
Yeah, and that I wanted to touch on something through the NBA. I can't believe James Harden got traded to the Nets. I can't believe they gave him that package for James Harden.
But NBA
Because he said he wanted out, all this stuff. But I think NBA GMs are just brain dead sometimes.
I think
They
NBA
love
is different.
stars.
They're all about trading away the first round picks.
Yeah.
Like,
Dude.
they don't care.
Yeah, it's
For
totally
first,
different. but
that would
still.
never happen.
For
in hockey.
first
That's
and some big names.
That's
too.
a great trade for Houston too, because
huge trade for Houston.
even like the chance to do those pick swaps in later years, people don't realize. I think the pick swaps started in a couple of years. By then, Harden, Kyrie, Durant, they'll be gone. So like those pick swaps are great. You'll never see anything like that in the NHL.
Yeah, it's insane. That's why like the NBA is totally different when people like everybody asks to get traded and stuff, and you'll get the max value for the player, and that's just not going to happen in the NHL.
If Montreal trades Suzuki for Dubois, I'll be furious.
That'd be the dumbest trade you guys can make.
I think it'll be more mad than at the time I was with the PK trade. Now the PK trade I pretty much love.
Who'd you guys get back for?
PK we got
Weber.
Weber, which is pretty.
Oh yeah, just one
pretty
for one,
great
right?
trade
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
But
Bergevin loves his 1-for-1. Johnny, what would you say about a Suzuki for Dubois?
I'll lose my mind. Honestly,
Would you even trade Kotkaniemi? Because I don't
I
know.
don't know.
I
the
would.
the
I would.
Kotkaniemi one.
I don't like Kotkaniemi.
It's grown on me because I've realized. What do you hope Kotkaniemi becomes? A first line center.
You
No.
hope what
Who Dubois
Yeah,
is.
exactly.
But I don't think he will become that.
That's what I'm saying.
He's
Exactly.
only a couple years younger than him.
That trade.
How many years younger than him? 3?
Two.
2 years. Dude, he's not going to
that's
get
why
that
it's
much
grown
better.
on me because Kotkaniemi's ceiling is probably around what Dubois is.
Yeah,
Based on
exactly.
what we've seen, if he hits the ceiling.
And you've already seen Dubois in the playoffs
exactly.
and stuff too.
Plus Dubois French
Even though
Canadian
Kotkaniemi was
like
decent
that.
last year in the playoffs.
And what's it called?
Shout out Thomas Parkanek. He said he wants Kotkaniemi. He thinks he could become the next Barkov.
Who? Kotkaniemi.
That was his
Thomas
comparison, but
Thomas loves
That was
it
his
made
comparable
sense
after the
though
draft.
because
Yeah.
Barkov's first couple seasons were slow. He took off later.
That's true.
McKinnon had slow seasons too at the start. Like not.
Yeah,
So.
Sam Bennet's having a slow start to his career too.
But even
Still have high hopes for him.
even
Still have high
Dubois,
hopes.
I think Dubois has another level.
He does.
Yeah,
I don't think
He's
he's
gonna
reached
get
his
way
potential.
better. He's
Yeah.
only 22.
Yeah,
At
he's gonna
26,
grow.
Dubois is gonna be insane. And if Habs have to trade Kotkaniemi, I think they do it. But at the same time,
Apparently, we offered Kotkaniemi and Mete.
yeah,
all right.
it's-
That
That's
was-
that. I take that any. Oh wait, you offered it to them.
That's what we
Oh,
offered.
okay,
them.
okay. I wouldn't take that if I
at
were.
the
They
same
asked
time,
for
you guys got to
Romanov.
develop your prospects. You can't keep trading everyone.
But
They're
that, see,
young.
even the Drew and Sergachev trade, it's not like they were trading a prospect for an old guy. Drew was only 2 years older as well, or 2 or
Right.
3 years older.
Exactly. And how did that play out? Like Sergachev became a beast. He's
Yeah,
way better
but-
than he's way
I
more
wouldn't say
valuable.
way. I wouldn't say
he's
way.
way more valuable. than
Way
Drew.
more. He's more valuable, I guess. Like overall
to
just
the
because
team. To the team, he makes a way bigger
Yeah.
impact than Drew.
Drew
Yeah,
just
you're probably
hasn't.
right.
Did you watch Sergachev in the finals?
Druin's,
he was
Yeah, yeah.
insane.
He was good.
Druin's
He was
really
good.
good. It's just he's inconsistent. Like
Mhm.
last year, remember before he was injured last year, he was point per game.
Mm-hmm.
Then he came back for like 8 games before COVID and didn't get a point, so his stats don't look as good. But he was point per game before he got injured. The last game he played healthy was the game when he scored twice against the Leafs on Saturday night. Like he's even first game of the season, he got 3 assists. Like Druin's very good. He just needs to stay consistent, and I think this year he will with Anderson
And I think
Suzuki.
Bergevin was quick to make that trade also because he's French Canadian.
Yeah, that's why they
Dubois
want Dubois.
also is.
Okay, let's move on now. So we're gonna move on to a segment called Something or Nothing. Just we're gonna go over storylines around the NHL from the past weekend. We're gonna say if it's something or nothing to read into. So Pittsburgh's goaltending situation, is it in crisis? Yes or no?
I don't know. It's too early to say. I think even though we did talk a lot of shit about the Edmonton Oilers goalie situation, I think like
It's different.
it is because I don't know. Like Jari, I liked Jari like
But
last year a lot. This year, I think he hasn't gotten the defensive support, but he's also been pretty bad. So I'm on the fence here. I'm not sure.
since January 1st, he's been 7, now 10. I saw this stat before the second game. So he's now 7-10-1, and he has lower, because this was earlier in the season, lower than an 896 save percentage since
Yeah,
January 1st.
That's tough. So it wasn't Murray's fault.
The reason his stats look good last year is because he had like a 3-game shutout streak, which just any goalie can kind of get hot and record.
Right.
Fun fact, Montreal broke that shutout streak.
Wow.
But in such a quick time, Pittsburgh went from Fleury to Murray to
They
Jari.
turned
Jari.
over. I think they should have kept Murray.
And today,
I think so too.
Casey DeSmith, I watched that game.
Yeah,
he
he played
played pretty good. So he's young, and I know Pittsburgh fans like him. I'm curious to know like if he has a chance at taking the starting job if Jari keeps continuing.
Oh, this year, 100%.
Yeah, exactly. That would I could
100%.
see that happening
Me
because
too.
think about they just kept getting younger and younger, right? Murray. How old is Murray?
He's not that
26,
old.
27.
And Jari's younger than him.
I'd assume so.
And then I'm pretty sure Casey DeSmith's younger than Jari. Like
Yeah.
I think Casey.
They should have kept Fleury from the beginning.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
it.
he's
Murray,
still-
Murray Fleury. There you go.
But Murray played pretty good
Well,
against
they
the
had
Leafs.
to lose Fleury in the expansion draft. There was nothing they could
Right.
have done.
Yeah, that's true.
They could only
Or
pick one, and at that point
expose
you would.
Murray, but
But
yeah.
Murray
Yeah.
just won 2 Stanley Cups. You're not gonna expose him.
And he's been playing pretty fucking good for
Ottawa,
Ottawa.
$3.
Yeah.
So next one.
$3.
Next one. Domi and Torts not meshing. Is that something to read into or no?
Yeah, we touched about it a bit. It's like kind of crazy that he benched him, didn't he, one game?
For the final 5 minutes of the first game, Domi, who is supposed to be one of Columbus's best offensive players, didn't play the last 5+ minutes in the opener, and he only played 12:57 in the whole game, which was third lowest among forwards.
Yeah. So see the fact that that Dubois is playing
-3
more.
so far.
Yeah, that Dubois is playing more than him is a little shocking, especially because Torts came out and said, "Yo, if he doesn't want to play for me, like
Yeah, I'm not working with him too much.
exactly." So yeah, that's kind of crazy.
The biggest thing about Torts is you gotta play defense. Like he could have Sidney Crosby, and if Sidney Crosby doesn't play defense,
But Sidney Crosby's-
I'm saying like he'll
Yeah.
bench Crosby.
Yeah.
So the fact that Domi's been -3,
Yeah, but weren't they down in the game when he benched him the last 5 minutes?
yeah, they were down and he didn't put his best.
Yeah,
offense.
Exactly. Yeah. So
Yeah, it makes no
I don't
sense.
think it has to do with.
Remember,
defense.
he said Anthony Duclair can't play hockey. He straight up said that. Like he doesn't care. He has no filter. He doesn't care if Domi. We didn't watch the game, so
Has Duclair played yet?
he plays tonight with Florida. The game's on right now.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, because Florida hasn't played a game
But,
yet. Yeah.
Like I didn't watch, so we can't talk on it too much. But from like seeing Twitter and stuff, it looked like Domi probably didn't do something. I saw he had a penalty, so maybe it was a dumb penalty or something.
Imagine if Sam Bennett played for this guy. Sam Bennett would be benched the whole game.
Druin probably wouldn't never leave the press box.
I don't think it's anything to read into. I think Domi's the type of player that wants to get better, and I think Torts can make him better. One game.
One thing
I
is,
think
though,
we'll see. We'll see over.
it's a 2-year deal, so I think and UFA at the end. So I think he's
I don't
probably
see
out.
him.
I see he's out after 2 years.
These are also two like key years for Domi because he's like what 24,
26.
Like 26.
Yeah.
Oh wow. So yeah,
He's
he was
old.
drafted in 2015, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
he's got to get better now, right?
Next one, Ottawa. This was more. I wrote the script after only the Friday game. Are people underestimating Ottawa? Is Ottawa
No.
going to cause?
He's coming. They're coming last.
They're coming last, but I
They're
think
coming last, but I think that'll be more.
they're going to be
competitive.
competitive. Like
They can
the
cause
thing
problems.
is, I said this at the start when the Canadian division was announced. Montreal and Toronto are at a disadvantage in the fact that they're rivals with Ottawa. So like Ottawa's going to get up to play Montreal and Toronto more than they will against
Dude,
Vancouver and stuff.
We have to play Vancouver and Edmonton.
Yeah, but
first.
Vancouver and Edmonton are good teams anyway. Like they'll still trouble Montreal and stuff. But like
But
Ottawa,
it's gonna be like playoff
Yeah,
vibe
but I'm
every
saying, like,
time.
Ottawa's
more
a-
with Edmonton. But
it's even
still.
like how, in like using football terms, the NFC East was terrible this year. But when they played each other, it was good games because it's rivals. Like Ottawa, like we saw in the first game against Toronto, they physically pretty much abused Toronto just because of like it's the rivalry. They were saying it's the Battle of Ontario. Like we don't want to get walked over. So I think like Montreal and Toronto, Ottawa are tough, but yeah, they'll still come last.
I think they'll pull on like they'll have things to play for late in the season as like maybe like Montreal's trying to squeak in or Edmonton,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like play the upset. You know what I mean?
Let's fuck this team
But I don't
over.
think. Yeah, exactly. And that's $4 straight from Michael.
Next one. This was probably the biggest talking point of like the week around the NHL. Keith Yandel, up until today, was supposed to be a healthy scratch.
Did him dirty.
He ended up playing, but he'll probably be a healthy scratch at some point because he's on the. It looks like he's on the third pairing from morning skate. Is this a big deal that they're scratching Keith Yandel at 866 games?
Yeah, dude,
Iron
it
Man
is.
streak.
Yes.
He's still a good defenseman.
That's what I don't get.
45 points last year in 69 games. Like that's more than.
That's what I
serviceable.
genuinely don't understand.
I mean, I want to
literally-
see his defensive metrics because maybe that's an issue. But
He's literally played amazing
Uh,
for the last 4 seasons for Florida.
Montreal did this with Alzner. They ended his Iron Man streak in his second year, but that's different. 'cause
there was
that
another
he was
Iron Man streak
garbage.
that was ended for a weird. Cogliano was like
got a 1-game suspension.
Yeah, that was
But like we scratched Alzner because Alzner was
Not good.
terrible.
pretty bad. Yeah,
Pretty bad, yeah. Pain.
that's it for the talking points, right?
We just have the Simmons one we covered already. That we
No,
had our
I don't think we
opinions.
talked. Oh yeah, we talked about Simmons.
And
Yeah,
last,
do you
thing
think
about,
that?
last thing about Yandel. Uyghur, Forsling, Gudas, and the guy that we're going to replace him is Stillman. Those are not defensemen better than Keith Yandel.
I don't think so either.
It doesn't make sense. Last thing, just before we wrap up. Injuries. A lot of injuries so far in the NHL. Do you think this is because of no preseason?
No, I think it's just more like, especially like the teams that haven't played since the bubble, like they're gonna be like those players are gonna be more prone to injury because they only had they didn't have as much time to condition like full NHL practices. Like obviously they're conditioning it at home and stuff, but they're not going through the same motions their bodies are usually like go through on a yearly basis. Like as an NHL player, you're playing most of the year. You know, you're always training. You have what, like 3 months off that you're not like playing an NHL practice or something. I think it's because of that.
That's why
honestly,
though. That's what preseason's for, right? Like,
Yeah,
You gotta think,
I'm sure it would have helped.
out of like the 4 major ones, the three playing right now, football had a lot of injuries. Basketball hasn't because basketball had preseason. Football didn't. And hockey's had a couple injuries and they had no preseason. I think the preseason just kind of like gets your body back into like taking those hits and kind of.
Yeah.
I think preseason does matter. Like there's been a lot of injuries right now. Ekman Larson, Clase, Varlamov, Matheson, and D'Amelio are all day to day. That's that we know of. And out a couple of weeks we have Couturier, Smith, Bertuzzo, and last night Robertson went down. Looks like he's gonna be out a while.
Yeah,
Bad knee injury.
we still don't know what happened to Smith though, do we?
Who?
Mike.
Mike Smith. They just put him on LTIR. They didn't say anything.
That's weird.
I think he's classified as unfit to play.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's what they said.
Yeah.
Unfit to play.
But from what? Like I don't know how that happened.
Maybe he left. Like,
Maybe.
maybe he had family or something.
Who knows? I don't think you put him unfit to play though, because Sting had family issues and what's it called? David Riddick is having family issues right now. So Louis Domingue is our backup. Like they didn't say, oh, he's unfit to play. He's just
no
not.
big save Dave right now.
Nah.
But that's a lot of injuries just
It
for
is.
the first week, and I think it is
And those
because
are
of
that
preseason.
those are that you know of.
Exactly, because they're going from 0 to 100. Think about it. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
like the Leafs played like the Habs, so that's a big rivalry. They're going hard in that game.
Yeah, that was.
But if they got a couple games to warm up, they're not going hard in preseason. They're just using those games to warm up.
Even
and
the
get
bubble, they
muscles
had the
warm.
one preseason game. I think they should have done one.
That yeah. See, like even in the bubble, I think that helped a lot that game.
Yeah, I think so too.
That's it, pretty much.
Yeah,
That's
that's
the end of the talking points. And just hope we get another great week of hockey.
I think so too. A lot of good games that should be on.
Tomorrow at noon, Michael will be refreshing Twitter, seeing if Spezza is still a Leaf. Not still a Leaf.
I'm sure he will be.
Spezza will be a Leaf because of what the agent said about how he'll retire. I think
that was like a little
tactic.
I
think that's why they put him on waivers, because Dubas probably said like, I'm putting you on waivers, and then Spezza said I'm gonna retire, and then Dubas like, perfect, tweet that.
No, I
don't think it went like that.
No,
exactly.
That's exact conversation.
I think they had it planned. Like I think he only put him on waivers, knowing what would go on.
Right.
And I think GMs will respect that. Like it's Spezza, let him. He wants to play in
Toronto.
Toronto.
I don't know if this is just me, like I don't know, but
hater.
I would claim him. Like if it was any player and like it was a rival team, like Ottawa or something, I would claim him.
I don't think you would. You would lose respect around the league as a GM.
I wouldn't respect you as a GM.
You wouldn't lose respect.
37-year-old Spezza.
I think Spezza would lose more respect than the GM.
Why would but he just wants to. He wants to.
I'm surprised he wouldn't want to go end his career and thing.
Yeah, like if Ottawa, I think if Ottawa
has no chance of winning the cup this year,
but just like full circle.
Yeah, just to end it there. Like
no,
he's not gonna,
it's not.
I wouldn't say no if I were him.
It's not an ending it type of situation. Like he's 37. He's still like not being biased. He's still really good. Like he's way better than Joe Thornton, which is 4 years older.
Jumbo.
And so Spezza, I could see him playing for another 4 years. Literally, if he wants to keep playing in Toronto, and we want to keep bringing him back for a fourth line role, I think he'll end his career here.
Yeah, I think so.
Dell's gone though. I think Dell gets clean.
I think he is for sure. But yeah, I think we should wrap it up.
Yeah, that's it.
So getting close to the 52-minute mark, which is where we ended it off last time.
Yeah.
But yeah, so if you're watching on YouTube, obviously you see that there is no video. We're in COVID lockdown right now, so we're actually all 6 feet apart, wearing masks. So even if we did have a camera, and if the lighting,
to get all of us in shot,
we wouldn't be in frame. And even if the Amazon would please provide me with my lighting equipment that I ordered 3 weeks ago, that would be fantastic as well. But yeah, there will be no video podcast until at least we're out of lockdown, so it could be like February, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
We're just hoping soon, because we want to do some other content with YouTube and do some video essays and stuff like that. So that's why you're not seeing that there. So sorry to the people that like to have a visual. And yeah, I want to see all of our beautiful faces.
No faces to the voice right now.
Yeah, there isn't. Nobody knows what we look like.
It's okay, you guys.
Very mysterious.
Johnny's ugly, don't worry.
No,
yeah, Johnny's gross.
Michael looks ugly too.
Michael's the only one without a girl, so...
yeah, what's that about?
Bro, what do you mean? That doesn't mean anything.
All right, let's not get into this on a hockey podcast, but thank you everybody for watching. Hopefully this one was a little bit more smooth. I think we all got a little more comfortable, talking on mics in a room. But yeah, that's about it. Tune in next Tuesday for some more HSN Podcast talk, hockey talk.
When the Leafs are on a 4-game losing streak.
Hopefully. We don't like the Leafs, me and Johnny.
Next week's episode will be good too, because it'll be right after the Calgary and Toronto game.
Oh, Adam,
so
literally right now.
We'll have some hot
you guys
takes.
are going down.
We're going to record it as soon as that game finishes. I'm coming over. We're recording it.
Let's do it.
Yeah, so that should be a fun one. Thanks everybody for watching, and thanks for all the support across our social media platforms as well. Yeah, and we'll see you guys next Tuesday.
See ya. Peace.